I get asked this question all of the time. How can I make money through side hustles and how could I potentially turn them into a full-time business? 2 in 5 people in the UK currently have a side hustle on the go, and that number is set to rise to over half by the end of 2026. Costs are on the rise, things are moving quickly, so people are looking for other ways to make money. It's said that 91% of people would leave their job if they could, and this list right here, which I'm going to run through today, might allow you to do that, or at least allow you to bring in some extra cash to help you move towards your financial goals a little bit faster. I'm going to run through 9 income streams which I've built in the past 24 months, some of which form part of my business right here, and some of which I do just to earn a little bit more on the side. Plus, we're going to talk about how you can actually kickstart them yourselves and how hard they are to actually do. I've literally done over 100 plus side hustles, making over £500,000, but these are the ones that work for me. And so let's get into the first one. So the first one is Instagram and TikTok. So social media, making videos in general. I don't think my business would be anywhere near where it is today. In fact, it definitely wouldn't be. We have 218,000 followers on Instagram and around about 19,000 followers on TikTok. And honestly, it is an absolute cheat code. You can literally make videos on your iPhone and put them up on the internet, and it potentially reaches millions of people. And when it comes to making money from it, there are plenty of different ways. You can make money through sponsorship, you can sell products, you can actually partner with other brands and make videos for them as well, which is called UGC, content creation. And you can do all of this using an iPhone and a free bit of editing software, which you can find online. And the mad thing is as well, is that I know channels, for example, like the young Irish budgeter who's in the personal finance niche like me, she has around about 240,000 followers on Instagram alone, and she's never shown her face in her content. There are literally thousands of faceless channels out there. So you can do really well on social media without ever even showing your face. And I've had students of mine as well that have created channels without showing their face, and they've gone on to sell products, they've gone on to make partnerships with brands worth 5 figures. And so social media really is a cheat code, because you can literally open your iPhone right now, start filming yourself talking about something which you're passionate about, to find a niche that you are passionate about and start talking about it, and that you don't need to be an expert in it. People love learning from people that are 1 or 2 steps above them in the food chain right now, and that is what they like learning from. So it doesn't have to be this big complicated thing, and you definitely don't need to be an expert. And so look, all you need to do is start posting some videos and some content. You will get better over time. What I would do is I would start looking at people in the niche that you do decide to do. What are they doing well? And start to emulate some of their ideas. Take little bits from each person's video and put it into your own. And over time, you will develop your own style. And look, your first video is going to suck, and so is probably your 50th. It really is a long game when it comes to social media. But if you go on this journey, it can be life-changing, as it has been for me. So how hard is it? And look, it is. It's like getting on a hamster wheel, and you do need to consistently put content out over a long period of time. But the changes in your life can be exponential in a matter of months when it really does start to kick off. So I absolutely back social media to the hilt, and that's why we've started with this one. But the next one I want to talk about is YouTube. Now, I love YouTube, but it is very, very different to putting out, say, a 30-second video on social media. Now, again, I'm literally just using an Action 5 Hero Pro DJI camera. It was super cheap, around about 300 quid, and I just go out in the fields and start filming myself doing videos like this one. Now, from YouTube ads, we've been monetized roughly just under a year. We've made 2,100 quid, give or take, over that period of time from YouTube ads, but we've also massively doubled our revenue in the last 90 days. So in the last 90 days alone, I've done £1,200 in ad revenue. So that's around about £300-400 a month. And that's really not that bad when you think about it. So it is growing over periods of time, but YouTube channels take a long time and a lot of effort. And this is another form of content. It's a bit longer form of content. Long form content is what it's called. But again, you're going to have to be willing to pick up a camera and start creating videos about something that you are passionate about. And it is a long road when it comes to YouTube. You know, I've been making content on YouTube for a couple of years, not as consistent as I would have liked, but if you can get 1 video out a week for a couple of years, it can be a massive, massive earner. I know some channels which are literally making 7 figures a month from YouTube alone. So the possibilities are endless when you start focusing on content. But for me, just like I do with social media, I drive the traffic somewhere. So in this case, a mailing list or something like that. And then I can then sell them things later down the line, selling them things which we're actually going to cover in a little while, as well as some of the other income streams which I've generated. So mailing lists are a great way to get people off YouTube and your social media, and you can start making money in a much shorter time frame, because it does take a long time to get monetized on YouTube. You have to have 4,000 watch hours, and I think around about 1,000 subscribers, it might be 500 now, to actually get monetized on YouTube. So that's a lot of effort, and that's a lot of hours of people watching your content. So that's why it can take a long time. Though if you do knock it out of the park quite quickly, some people get monetized in a matter of weeks. It really does come down to the level of quality of your content. And it doesn't have to be, you know, massively overproduced Marvel level movies. I'm in a field right now with a camera. So you can create low budget, really impactful videos. It's about what you're saying, and it's about what you're talking about rather than the actual quality of the videos themselves. And so that is YouTube, and it's the second one on the list. But I also want to talk about my podcast, which is number 3, because I have a YouTube channel as part of my podcast, as well as the audio as well. Now, my podcast is another stream of income. And the reason why it's a stream of income is because, again, I can push the traffic into a mailing list, but also we can make money through sponsorship of brands sponsoring our podcast to run ads in between little bits on the show. Now, a podcast is a lot less friction when it comes to actually creating content, because you can be at home and you can use something like Zoom or Riverside to get yourself started, and they record videos, which again, you can chop up and put on social media and launch social media on with your podcast as well. But you can get high quality audio done at home with a decent level £100 mic. You don't need much more than that to get started with a podcast. But what I will say is podcasts are slow and long to actually get any traction from. But when they do get going, you are in someone's ears for an hour sometimes, if it's half an hour or whatever. And that's a lot harder to do, you know, with a social media video. You're gonna have to be creating 30, 60, maybe even 100 videos to reach someone that they would actually spend one time with you on a podcast. So podcasts are massively impactful as part of a content sphere. But just remember, if you're getting into this wanting to make money from podcasts alone, it's gonna be a long road. I'm talking 3-4 years before it actually starts to get traction. But we have just secured our first mid 5 figures. We're talking above £60,000 sponsorship for our podcast. And that has been a long, hard road. But now that means all the costs are covered, and it means I can hire help to help chop up the podcast, make clips out of it, and we can expand the team and really develop the show to make it even better. But it has literally taken me 120 plus episodes to get to that point. So it is a long, hard road when it comes to podcasts, but they're really good fun. I get to talk to people, I get to learn from experts that I interview, and that is just something which I can't actually put a value on myself. It has helped me both network with the guests as well. I'm now lifelong friends with a lot of the guests, but also I've learned so much just from doing podcasts alone. And I am a massive fan of podcasts. It's how I learn in my business. It's how I learn to create new things. I go and listen to podcasts about them. You know, I jump into, if I want to start a YouTube channel, I'll go and listen to a YouTube podcast, and I'll learn how to create YouTube videos from podcasts. So they are a massively beneficial thing, but just remember they do take a long time to really get going. Now, next, I want to talk about probably my favorite one of the lot, and that is digital products. Now, digital products can be a multitude of different things. We're talking courses, PDF, worksheets, anything that's actually sold digital. It can be workshops, it can be so many different things. But the key point is, when it comes to digital products, you can have a fantastic digital product, but you have to be able to drive traffic to it. So what you're gonna need is somewhere to sell it. So you can either do that online, that can be Amazon, it can be Etsy, it can be a social media store, it can be Shopify, but you're going to need to drive traffic to it. And usually that's gonna come through either social media or paid ads, which can be quite expensive. However, a digital product is pretty mad, because when you sell a physical product, you actually have to have the stock and you have to send it to someone, and those things actually cost money. It costs money to make, it costs money to store, and it costs money to send it. Whereas with digital products, it's a file, so you can literally sell it infinite amount of times, and you don't actually have to have someone there to physically drop off the product and then take the product and then store the product themselves. It lives on a file on a computer, and that's the mad thing about digital products. And because of that, it can literally earn earn up to 97% margin in some cases, whereas physical products usually around 20 to 30%. So that's a big difference. Now, obviously these take a lot of different types of effort to actually create. For example, courses, you're going to actually need to do something about that, film it, create it, write it. These are going to take you a long time. But I think people get into digital products without realizing that they're going to need some level of traffic to get towards it. And that has to be the number one thing you need to think about first. So most people start the social media and then they develop digital products to sell to their audience after they've created the audience, because one, they know what the audience likes and what they want, and two, they actually have people to sell it to. Now, last year alone, we probably made around about £200,000 from digital products alone. 90% of those came from courses, and the great thing is they've been made once. So now they can be sold an infinite amount of times and updated over time as we want to make changes to them or things change in my niche or the world around it. So digital products are an ultimate hack, but you have to understand that you have to have an audience or some source of traffic. And that could be a mailing list, it could be social media, it could be a YouTube channel, it could be a podcast, and it could be all of them wrapped up into one. And that for me is why I've got the trifecta, because I've got long form podcast content, medium form YouTube content, and short form social media content, and a mailing list, all driving traffic into the digital products. But that's taken time. It's taken time to actually build that. You can just create a low level digital product, say a £7 ebook, have a couple thousand followers on social media and make yourselves 50 extra quid a month. Honestly, it can be as simple as that. I've grown it to this because I've created a business out of it. So it doesn't have to be this big thing. It can be something that just brings you in a couple £100 extra a month. And that is the hack. But digital products are a number one brilliant side hustle to get going if you can actually get it started. And next I want to talk about probably one of the lowest, easiest levels of side hustle that you could probably do, and that is affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is actually very simple. It's other companies' products which you use a link which is trackable to then push their product. And when someone actually goes and buys that product, you make a percentage of that sale, or it can be a fixed amount. Now, the best way of doing this, again, you're going to need to be able to drive some traffic. You could just put the link in a WhatsApp chat with a group of mates, and if they all sign up for the thing, I'm sure you've seen referral codes, that's a kind of like an affiliate marketing, then you can make money in that way as well. But where it starts to get really juicy is when you do have a traffic source like a mailing list, a social media channel, or a YouTube channel or something like that as well. And that's where you can make some serious cash. I think in the last 12 months, we've probably done around about £60,000 in affiliate marketing, which is just nuts. But the mad thing is, it's actually taken off massively in the last 3 months. We've probably done about half of that. So I'm actually predicting for the next following 12 months from here, we're probably going to be looking at around about 120 to 150,000 pounds from affiliate marketing alone. But again, we do have that large traffic source of social media and mailing list to drive that in. But I know people that have started TikTok channels or social media channels, and in 1 week, they're pushing other people's products and they are making money from it. So a video could literally go out to 1,000 people, and if one person clicks on that link and then buys that thing, and let's say that thing was a TV and you're getting 10% of it, you could be earning 30 to 50 quid back from that one individual thing alone. So the thing is with affiliate marketing, it depends on the niche, how much you make. Sometimes you can earn silly money, like hundreds, sometimes even thousands if it's a high ticket product, but you need to be able to find the audience that is actually going to buy them. So the content you make to service that audience has to be very much in line with that niche and that product that you are looking to sell. So it really is just using your influence, and it could be your friendship group, it could be social media, just to actually find the people that would be relevant for that product and that will actually want to buy it. And then when they make that purchase, you earn money from it. And I absolutely love this because there is so many companies which have made tried and tested products. They've done all of the hard work for you. And it means that you don't have to go out and think of a brand new idea, go and make a product and spend thousands of pounds in research and development and distribution of that product. You can literally go and sell somebody else's, which works. And it could be something you just really like using. For example, there's girls online making tons of money selling makeup because they use those products every single day, and they are happy to make videos about them because they are literally putting them on their face. So they just do get ready with me type videos, for example. So there are hundreds of different ways you can do this, and affiliate marketing is one of the best side hustles out there. But again, you need a traffic source. And now I want to talk about something which I've actually only been doing for a couple of months now, and it is so interesting, and it's crazy how much money can be earned through this side hustle. And the next one that we're going to discuss is Facebook pages. Now you Gen Z lot are probably like, oh, Facebook, man, my nan's on there. But honestly, there is hundreds of billions of people using Facebook every single day, just like they're using Instagram and just like they're using TikTok. And actually, it's a brilliant way to make money from actually low level and a really small time input as well. Now, how it works is you create a Facebook page in a niche that you are actually passionate about. So I have done personal finance, so up the gains in this case. Now, what I'm doing on there is I'm creating content that can be literally image content. So quotes, it can be tweet style posts as well. I'll put a few up on the screen here so you can see the types of content that I'm putting out. And honestly, it's nuts. So what we do is we run Facebook page-like ads. So Facebook ads to the page, and we get a page-like ad for around about 10 pence. So there is a bit of investment which goes into it. We're talking a few £100. And now we've got 10,000 page likes and over 28,000 followers on the page in just a few weeks. And then after a while, they will invite you to the Facebook bonus program. So that's how you get monetized by posting content on Facebook. And this is actually nuts. So we're putting out around about 8 images a day. And the mad thing is, I create templates for these on Canva, and it probably took me a couple hours on a Sunday to knock this all together. We now have a couple of other pages as well, something called Dosh Dad, which we're growing at the same time. And the mad thing is, I'm spending a couple of hours creating the content on a Sunday, I'm scheduling it using the Facebook scheduler, and then once you get monetized, you can earn some serious cash. So in the last 30 days, we've made $2,230 from Facebook alone. And yes, it's in dollars, and translated to pounds, that's around about 1,500 quid for posting memes and tweet style videos on Facebook. And it is honestly blowing my mind how crazy this is. And we're actually at the start of this journey. Now, I know personally some people that are doing tens of thousands of pounds a month from one individual Facebook page, and they have loads of them. I'm talking 10, 20, 30 Facebook pages, and then they get people from the Philippines or in the UK, so VAs, to help them out with the workload and creating the content and scheduling it all in, so they barely even touch it. So this one is absolutely mental, and I will happily talk about this on a workshop coming up soon, because it is blowing my mind how much money you can make in such a short period of time. But the key point is with this is that you do need to spend a bit of money to make some money. And it's not always guaranteed that your Facebook page will get invited to the Facebook bonus program. It always happens, but sometimes it can happen after a few months, sometimes it can happen after a few weeks, and you just have to be okay with that. But if you continually grow your page over a period of time by putting out good content, you'll eventually get asked to join the program. And then you literally make money from an image. Sometimes these images are literally taking me 10 seconds to create, and they're creating, $4, $5, $6. So the actual ROI for the time that's going in is pretty nuts. So this is a brilliant side hustle for someone to start on a weekend and knock this up. And there are loads of people online talking about this right now. You can literally search it on YouTube after this and learn how to do it in literally half an hour. It is nuts how crazy this side hustle is right now. Now, next I want to talk about something where I've leveraged the skills that I already had and have grown since then, since running my business, to help other people. And the next one on the list is consulting. So how consulting works is I network with lots of people, and I tell them that these are the things that I do. And obviously having a big social media account and a business which is helping people make money is a bit of a hack here, I'm not going to lie, but I help other businesses create social media strategies. I help them with their paid ads. I help them with their website traffic, their SEO, whatever that might well be. So what I'm trying to say is, what you can do is, if you're networking within your industry, you can start building up people and telling them that you are good at certain things. And then they will hire you for their business and pay you money to help them do the thing that they can't do. Now, consulting varies in what I'm doing for them, but sometimes I'm earning between £500 to £1,000 for a little mini project, and sometimes I'm earning thousands of pounds for a longer project, which I might need to put a bit more time in. So it is sporadic depending on what I'm doing and how, I'm meeting people out there, but it is such a great little hustle, and that money goes straight into the bank, and I can then invest that profit, for example. So that's what I tend to do. These are little my own side hustles that don't count as part of Up the Gains business. And that's where I can help people and bring some money into my world. So leveraging your skills that you already have and then selling them to other people and other businesses which need that skill. That is consulting right there, the 101. And the next one I want to talk about is something which I love doing, and it does trip me up every now and then as well. And that is trainer reselling. Quick check way. Now I love trainer reselling, and the simple fact is it's so simple, quick and easy to do. So you can download an app like Heat Movement, for example, and Heat Movement, you just log in and then you can set up alerts for when there are rare drops of trainers. So these are things like Jordans, or back in the day it was Yeezys or the Travis Scotts or whatever that might well be. And essentially you will be able to buy that trainer at a retail price. They're always released on, say, the Nike website, for example. I picked up most trainers for around about 100 quid, sometimes 150 quid. And then what you do is you wait until they sell out. Sometimes they sell out within a matter of hours, sometimes it takes a few weeks, and those are the less rare trainers. And essentially once they've sold out, you can't buy them anymore. The only place you can buy them is on eBay and StockX, which is where you will list that pair of trainers. Now, most of the time you will make between around about double to sometimes 2.5 times what you paid for it. Now, for example, the best ones I've ever had, I bought for £150 and I sold them for £600. So the money is there. But you do have to then obviously receive the pair of trainers, which can clog up space in your house, and then you have to list them and sell them. And they do have to be verified these days by eBay and StockX, depending on where you sell them. So if you like, it's a kind of retail arbitrage. You're buying a pair of trainers, you're waiting for it to sell out, and then you are selling it for a higher price online. So it does take a little bit of effort to get going, and yes, a little bit of research into what are the cool shoes and what are people hyped about right now. Those are good things to do to make sure you're buying the right shoes. Because yes, there is a little bit of a risk that someone doesn't want to do it, but after spending a little bit of time in this space, you'll pick this up quite quickly. It's really not that hard, and I just love it. And yes, occasionally I have kept a few pairs of trainers as well, and I probably should have sold them, but got to treat yourself every now and then, especially if you're making some good money from your side hustles. Now, number 9 on the list is website building. Now, I've developed these skills myself from podcasts, from YouTube channels over periods of time, because I built the Up the Gains website myself, and people just really liked what I'd built. And so they asked me, hey, can you come and help me create a website for my business? And I was like, yeah, of course. First off, charging a couple hundred quid, then realizing it took me 2-3 days to do the work, and so I should probably charge a bit more. And now sporadically I could charge around about 1,500 for a proper website build. And the mad thing is about website building is I use my team to help me, and I use freelancers. So I use Fiverr, I use VAs, and they do a lot of the heavy lifting on the website building for me. I give them all the instructions, and then I just jump in. I spend a few hours on this. Now, again, these are sporadic, but I'm using skills which I've built up over time. But if you don't have skills and you want to make money in something, go and learn it. Go and do a few jobs for free. Build yourself up a little portfolio in whatever you want to do, social media, website building, and you can actually make some really great money from it as well. And that could be utilizing your time in a smart way. And you could do this in the evenings or on the weekends. It doesn't have to take up your entire life to do this. People are very happy with a website build taking a couple of weeks in a lot of cases. And yes, there is some back and forth and some managing clients, and that's totally fine. Honestly, it is such a great way to make a little bit of extra cash as well. And with AI, it's getting faster and easier to do it in just a few clicks, and then you just actually have to jump in and move some things around and add the text and the images for that business. So it's pretty crazy when you think about it. So that's another little income stream which I've got going as well. And then 9.5. Now, I didn't know whether to include this, but it technically is a form of income, and that is dividend income, because I use the profits that I make from my side hustles to buy companies, to buy other companies, if that's index funds or individual stocks. And those stocks or funds will pay me dividend income. But what I do with that dividend income, which is why I didn't want to include it, is I reinvest that straight back in to try and compound it a lot faster. So I don't actually use that cash for anything other than reinvestment purposes. So it is a form of income, and so I am including it, but it gets reinvested, so it doesn't get the full point. And look, what I'll say when it comes to side hustles is that you gotta try a load and see what sticks, see what's right for you. Obviously, I've included some which are working for me right now, but there are hundreds and hundreds of other side hustles out there. Things like online surveys, website testing, focus groups I didn't include, but I did used to do back in the day, are great for just making a little bit of extra cash here and there. It really depends on how much time you have, so I would 100% do a time evaluation, see how much time you can actually commit to something, and see how much time it's going to take you to actually develop it into what you really need. Is it you need 50 extra quid, or do you want to try and quit your 9 to 5 in a period of time? Those are decisions that you have to make when it comes to side hustles, but they are an incredible way to build wealth over a long period of time, or just plug the gap in the cost of living if you do really need it. Now, the next video to follow on from this is coming up on your screen right there, and I have left a free money personality quiz in the show notes below. It's going to help you exactly where you are in your wealth journey right now and help you get to the next level. Simply head to the description to click that there, or click the next video which is up there. I've had a lot of fun on this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.